All right, so we're going to look at lesson 1.3 in harnessing human energy. We're going to start with a warm-up where you're going to discuss some of the misconceptions about energy. Then we're going to use the sorting tool to sort through kinetic and potential energy. It gives me a chance to better understand where your understanding of kinetic and potential energy is. Then we'll have a demonstration that I'll handle through the video. You'll have a reflection and then a short homework assignment at the end. All right, we're going to take a look at lesson 1.3. And I told you that I was going to show you different ways of getting into Amplify. So our third and final way that we'll discuss this is straight from our class webpage. So if you go to our class webpage and you scroll down to the bottom, okay, here I am in the process of putting the material for this week into our webpage, all right? So when this is done, by the time you look at this, what you'll notice is that here's lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4. The videos that correspond to each of these lessons are attached in here. And the assignment down below, if you go to, there'll be a link here. So if period 1 were to click on that, that will take them to the period 1 assignment in Google Classroom. And as I showed you in the last lesson, in Google Classroom, there's a link that will take you to Amplify. So I think probably the best way for you to navigate is to use our web page. Okay, our web page lays out all that we do. You can, if you miss a day or your internet's down or something, you can always go back and see. If you have extra time, you can get ahead and do work. And all the links are included in here. So you can go back to Google Classroom to look at your scores. But in terms of what material, what assignments, what content do you need to learn, it's all going to be here in, our webpage. All right. So I can go to Clever and do this. I'll do this really quickly. We are in lesson 1.3. And the first thing I want you to do is the warm-up. So in lesson 1.3, you have a warm-up. And 1.3 warm-up asks you to read this email from Sasha, Energy Research Lab client, okay, and answer this question. Let me refresh this and see if Amplify comes through. Recording this in real time. So, all right, so read question number 1 and answer this, and then explain your answer in complete sentences in this space below. I need you to recognize that if you don't use complete sentences, I will not give you credit. So take a couple of minutes, answer the warm-up, and then come back to the video after that. Okay. We're going to come back and take a look at this evidence of energy sorting tool, and it looks very similar to the sorting tool that you used in lesson 1.1. But if we head on over there, what you'll see is our objects, all right? And for some reason, the images aren't coming through for me, but I hope they come through for you. And instead of sorting them by things that you think have energy and things that you don't think think have energy, now we're going to sort them by things that I cannot see evidence of or I can see evidence of. So I'll go back to the soccer ball here flying through the air. All right. I can see evidence of energy because it's moving. So remember, energy is the ability to make things move or change. So if I see the soccer ball moving, I'm going to say that there's energy there. All right? So what I want you to do is I want you to take a few moments and stop the video and go ahead and answer these two questions. Sort all of these objects into things that you do not see evidence of energy, things that you do see evidence of energy, and then come up here and hand it in. Okay? After you hand it in, I'm going to explain to you two different types of energy. All right? So go ahead and pause and come back. All right, so now I've got my sorting tool, and I don't want you to do, I just want you to pay attention to me, okay? I have my sorting tool with different categories: potential energy and kinetic energy, all right? So kinetic energy is energy when something is moving, okay? So anytime an object is in motion, it's displaying energy, we call that kinetic energy. So the soccer ball flying through the air, that demonstrates kinetic energy. All right? The fan spinning demonstrates kinetic energy. All right? Water falling demonstrates kinetic energy. When something has the ability to make things move or change in the future, we call that potential energy, even if it's not moving right now. Okay? So a stretched bow and arrow, if that's still, all the person has to do is let go of it, and we will see kinetic energy. So therefore, we have potential energy. There is potential for kinetic energy to take place. Skateboard at the top of a ramp. If it's sitting still at the top of a ramp, we have potential energy. All right? It will demonstrate kinetic energy if it gets pushed, if it gets nudged a little, then it will demonstrate. Okay? So potential energy is when something has the ability to make things move or change in the future, but isn't moving or changing now. And kinetic energy is when something is moving and changing now. Okay? So let's take a look at, I've got a video here. That's not me. Okay, I've got a very exciting video here where we're going to take a look at some hopefully very well-known objects for you. So let me get this started. And here I have two wind-up cars. All right. So you're familiar with this, right? If you put a car out there and it's not moving, right? And then I've got another wind-up car that as I pull it back, it winds up, and then I let it go, and they take off. Okay. In Amplify, I have, under section 3, I have 3 questions. We're going to kind of poll the class here, okay? So I'm going to start this video again so you can watch it. And the question is, 1, a wind-up toy that's not wound up. Okay, so I do that here in a second. Boom. A wind-up car that's not wound up. Does that not have energy? Does it have kinetic energy, potential energy, or does it have both, kinetic and potential energy? Then here I have a wound up car that's not moving, right there. Okay? So the question, and this is all in Amplify that you'll just click. Does it have energy? Does it have kinetic energy? Does it have potential energy? Or does it have both? Okay? And then the final is that when I wind it up and let it go, does it have energy? Does it not have energy? If it has energy, is that kinetic, potential, or both? That one took off on me. Did you notice that? Whew, came back at me. Had so much. So I want you to take a moment, go into Amplify, section 3, and there's a short poll there. Just answer. Just highlight the ones that you think are the right answers, and then select hand in. In fact, I can bring that. Let me. So many bells and whistles and things. So this is what it's going to look like here. Okay, section 3. And you're going to say, do you think it has energy? So does it not have energy? Kinetic, if you think it does have energy, is it kinetic? Is it potential? Is it both? All right. Answer these 3 and then hit hand in. All right, section 4 and 5 are pretty straightforward. It won't take you too long. Section 4 is a reflection. So understanding what we've talked, just basic about potential energy and kinetic energy, I want you to select one of these items. So you're either going to select the skateboard or the charged battery or food or the stretched bow and arrow. And tell me which one of those you think has potential energy. So you get to choose. And then down here, why do you think that it has potential energy? Again, has to be in complete sentences. So you get to pick one of those and you get to justify it. All right? Then the homework, oh wait, make sure when you do that, you hand it in to me, okay? And then for the homework, I've got 2 simple questions here for you. Again, in complete sentences. Your answers must be in complete sentences. What is one way that kinetic energy might be involved in rescue team missions? So go back and think about the video that we saw with lesson 1.1. What's one way that kinetic energy might be involved in the in the rescue team missions? And then the second question is, what's one way that potential energy might be involved in these rescue team missions? Okay? So, complete sentences, answer those 2, and then hit hand in, and you are done.